Hi there, Scorpio. Welcome to Eyes to See Tarot and your January general tarot reading. This is a general reading and not necessarily centered around love and relationships, but if it comes up in the spread, I'll be sure to let you know. I like to mainly focus my readings on your energies, things going on around you, and things that you can control. Got the Page of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups. Okay, so far it looks like January is about prioritizing monetary gains or material items over the emotional. Because honestly, with the Seven of Pentacles here coming up in the reverse, it's like we have to go out with the old somehow. Be it a job, be it a position at a job, right? But this Page of Pentacles, he's kind of brand new to the game, whatever the game may be, you know. Apartments, cars, like I said, jobs, positions. Maybe in a sense, you've just gotten your head above water. And I'm not really looking to be distracted by anything relationship-wise. It's almost a time to loosen your belt a little bit, though. Get comfortable in your position. Instead of just adding on to it another aspect. Do I have anything else for my Scorpio? Do I have anything else for my Scorpio? All right, Coach. Tell me a little bit about it. What's going on here with the Hierophant? It could be in some kind of position to train. Maybe that is the step up. Maybe that's why emotions really can't get in the way here. It would jeopardize your job. Or in other aspects, I'm putting so much of myself into training this new employee or into the training process that I really don't have what it takes at this time to be both emotionally available at work and at the home. Got the Emperor. I see with the Hierophant here, there's the keys, like the keys to the kingdom, or the keys to the shop, or the keys to the office building, or what have you, right? But the Emperor in reverse states to me that it's like, I think you have a tendency, or you could have a tendency to be a perfectionist at it. Like just when it was myself working my job, I did the best that I could. But when it comes to training people, you have to be a little bit more open. Not everybody can do everything exactly how you do them, Scorpio. You have to allow them to flourish under their own assets in the job per se. And when training, you got to seek out those assets in each particular employee. What can they add to the team? Not how can they step in line directly, repeatedly, again and again, just like I did. Because not everybody has your work ethic or your idea of what's necessary. Bottom of the deck, it's the Eight of Swords. Okay, so with the Eight of Swords coming out, I see that there's probably a lot of things that you're not seeing that has to do with whatever this new endeavor is. If it is a house, if it is a relationship, you know. But whatever it is, it almost seems to me like you're the authoritative figure here, Scorpio. Definitely dancing in your masculine. Probably the older of the two, whatever it is. Can you tell me more about what Scorpio is dealing with in January? What Scorpio could be dealing with in January? I noticed the readings got a lot more difficult for me to discern when I started adding the months in. I don't think I'm going to keep that up for too much longer. I think it should stay open-ended, you know, almost timeless per se. No, I'm going to put you down. No, no. Oh, the energies. All right, so love. This could be an inability to, if you find like you're not getting the promotion, right? Or if you're not finding that ascension time, it could be because you're a little bit paranoid, a little bit too defensive, a little bit too strict, right? Victim mentality quite a lot. I'm not taking accountability. I'm not getting on top of my own bullshit. I'm not doing what needs to be done. With the Nine of Wands here, it leads me to believe that there's a essence of having to defend yourself again and again and again and again, overly explaining yourself, justifying something like that, but never really taking accountability, falling into the same system, the same scenario again and again and again, repetitively. So if you find yourself on that hand and not necessarily able or capable of taking the step up during the next few weeks, you might want to take a look into that, because I think that could be holding you back. And in that point, is the job really for you? Is the situation really for you? Right? I mean, is it an internal flaw or is it a functionality flaw? Right? Am I actually being attacked? Am I actually the victim? These are things to consider, right? Because if I'm the outcast at my job, then it doesn't matter if I do it perfectly, because the energy here on this side of the Scorpios is that I'm doing it perfectly. I'm overly perfectionist. I'm micromanaging. I'm overly controlling, right? I'm meticulous. I'm methodical. I'm training, right? But on this side, you got to understand that those energies kind of still reside. So being in the wrong place, right? Doing the wrong job. Maybe it's not something you necessarily have a lot of emotion in, because with the Nine of Cups in reverse, there does seem to be a lack of an emotional fulfillment, or a lack of an emotional pursuit in the way of like something that I know that I enjoy, but this new thing, right? This monetary thing, this thing that's going to pay car insurance or buy groceries. You know, it's coming first for some reason, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It happens to the best of us, but either way, I see not a lot of action. It's almost like knowing you need to, almost feeling the pinch, like there's really no other way around it. Now my back's up against the wall, but for some odd reason, I'm not taking action. I can't take action, or I won't take action. It's like a double-edged sword. because I value myself, because I respect myself too much. That's what this card is saying to me in this situation. I've got the Ace of Wands in reverse, but I've got the Ace of Cups in the upright, right? Staying stuck and stagnant in a situation because I value myself, I value my time. I'm too responsible, I'm too respectable to do some full-handed shit like this, you know? But just understand that if this is you, is it really self-respect and responsible to keep your soul in a position in a situation like this for the long term? Or maybe it is because with the Eight of Cups here, emotionally walking away, right? I've emotionally depleted myself. For the paycheck. I've emotionally depleted myself for the paycheck. It's like knowing what I need to do, but just not doing it. Like repeatedly. This card screams to me repeatedly. Right? With the Nine of Wands. Repeatedly. It's like my heart's just not in it anymore. It's kind of like on to bigger and better things. The Eight of Wands. Movement. Direction. Vector. I see a lot of ideas and opportunities coming into you as you begin this journey away. Now, keep in mind that the Eight of Cups, yes, is walking away, but emotionally so. Like I said, emotionally drained. It's not fulfilling. It's not fulfilling me anymore. It's not giving me purpose. It's not making me happy. Actually, it's just paying my rent. That's basically all it's doing. But there still has to be that I've made up my mind, right? There has to be that conscious decision that precedes that, right? Because I don't necessarily have to act on something until these opportunities come streaming in. And I don't want to act on the first one because there's going to be multiple opportunities. There's going to be multiple directions. But first I do have to make that conscious decision. And if I'm stuck in my head that it would be irresponsible, then I'm not accepting that reality into my energy field. Okay, so as soon as I start accepting that reality as a reality into my energy field, I can allow it to come through. I don't necessarily have to put my 2-week notice in or walk out the door and turn in my keys before those opportunities do come in. I just have to be aware of it, right? Because the universe actually can be sending you multiple opportunities right on your under your nose, and you're never going to check the job boards because you figure it would be irresponsible to check the job boards. Disloyal, unethical, irresponsible, right? But they've probably actually been sending you multiple jobs time and time again in a place that you're never going to check. So you actually do have to make that conscious decision in your mind before. Oh, Lord. Look, Scorpio, what is this loyalty base? I don't understand. I mean, are some of you trying to take over the family business? Or are you working for mom and pop? You know, or are you, what are you doing? Because this is giving me the feeling of being self-serving, being like I have a plan, I am in control to get this money, this Ace of Pentacles in the upright, right? But I feel deceptive. I feel self-serving, right? That's interesting. Overly apologetic. It's like, I don't even want it to come to this. I don't want to even ever make you feel like money is more important than me being there for you. It could be a very, very close relationship. They could have given you a break, you know, when you were right out the door at 14, 15 years old, you know. I mean, they could have done it for you. You might have this overwhelming sense of loyalty to this person or situation, right? Maybe it was a business that you created yourself, but you're not finding it financially rewarding. You know, or maybe it's only financially rewarding. It's not emotionally rewarding anymore. Maybe you could be training people to take your position, right? Because you want to go off and do something else. Could be. And then again, I don't know if I didn't have this conversation with Pisces a couple of weeks ago, you know, that it's about adding to. Like, if I've just narrowed it down and fine-tuned and got the super specific niche, right, then I'm not allowing other things to come in and add to it and make it personalized, original, special, specific, right? Something nobody's ever really seen before. There is a tone right now of some negativity, some ideas of some naysaying, I want to say, right? Okay, all right. So, with the Eight of Swords in reverse and the Three of Pentacles in reverse, with clarifying that King of Swords in reverse, there's probably a possibility that you have maybe attempted some sort of financial authorities for something like that, and tried to get the paperwork or the licensing, you know what I'm saying? And it doesn't necessarily have to be about business or entrepreneurship. It can just be something simple like the lawn. Just take it how it resonates. That you've become aware that nobody's really flowing with the current that you're wanting to kick up. You're wanting to kick up a current. You're wanting to go one specific way, or you're wanting to at least go in some sort of direction. And nobody's really on board with it. Nobody's really digging it, right? So it almost feels like you're against the grain. It almost feels punishable by law. You know, when you're sitting around with a bunch of friends and you're like, hey, let's go to Top Golf. And everybody's like, And you know you'd be doing it by yourself. So, you know, then it makes it seem like a bad idea, right? Okay, so with the Three of Pentacles, like that, increasingly aware that nobody's really seeing your vision. Oh, look at that. And it kind of put a stops to it, you know, kind of in its tracks. Gives you a negative connotation about expanding, expansion, moving on, retiring, filling a space, filling that void, right? Starting a new business. Adding on to the existing. Whatever it is. But I think that you're feeling a little bit of stagnancy, right? You're like anxious to progress, anxious to excel. Let's see what else we have from my Scorpios. Any advice? Because we have your energies. What's the advice? No, get in there. I'm not taking you. That seems like some browbeating energies to me. Eight of Pentacles. Seven of Cups. Immerse yourself in work or the project, right? Get your head out the clouds. Stop chasing waterfalls. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Meticulous, devoted. So in essence, I think that your intuition or your gut could be telling you and be spot on, because the advice given by the cards is to stay loyal to the process, right? Stop daydreaming. Stop trying to figure out how to be bigger, better, faster, more, right? There's some sort of, I guess the trick here would be appreciation for what I have been given. Look around at the multitude of other people and what they have. Kind of really put your blessings into perspective, because you could be losing that emotional pull. It could be not emotionally fulfilling anymore because you're not making that next step up, or you're not progressing past, right? So it's not as fulfilling, it's not as rewarding. But it should be. It should be as rewarding now as the day that you achieved it. It doesn't always have to grow. I see the Ace of Wands in reverse. Don't act. There's the Ace of Wands in reverse again. I have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. The Queen of Wands. The Five of Wands. And the King of Swords in the upright. It's quite interesting. And the Seven of Swords. Okay, so at the bottom of the deck, there's the Seven of Swords. So let's unfold this little message right here. Ace of Wands, not acting. It kind of goes hand in hand. Actually, it's like it kicks around in a circle again, because I have the Ace of Wands, but I have the Nine of Pentacles, meaning that, like, no, it's not necessarily financially stable or self-sufficient, right? You haven't reached your goal point or goal post, and you're not going to reach it if you continue to not act. But the thing is with the Queen of Wands specifically, she is a passive action, right? She puts the bait in the water. The fish bites. She reels it in. She does not a lot of movement, but a lot of authority, a lot of kind of controlling the situations around her. Authority. It's authority. A role model, per se. That's a more fitting substitute in this area. No matter how hard it gets, I'm going to follow through. I'm going to stay loyal to it. I got the Five of Wands and the King of Wands. Now remember how your King of Wands was in the reverse earlier. It's like through adversity, I was able to look down on myself, my motives, my actions, my plan, my dream, right? And that's kind of how that went. Because they said, or they acted in a way that made me feel like I should be ashamed of my drive, ambition. But doesn't every good story come with some sort of adversaries, right? Challenge to overcome? I think the trick here is to believe in yourself so much that it doesn't matter what other people think of you, right? Because I think that you could be allowing the situation or them or the longevity of the situation kind of prune your rose bush a little bit. And I think that growing past that and then coming with the full force. See, when I punch, I don't want to just punch like that. When I punch, I step into it like that, right? I want to be able to gain the centering idea and push forward with my entire being, my entire core, right? And then when my King of Wands becomes upright instead of negative. See, your King of Wands previously wasn't negative against them. Oh, to hell with them if they don't believe in me, right? It was negative to you. Oh, they don't believe in me. This must be a bad idea, right? So we have to flip that some way, shape, or form and give you that extra inner confidence. But it's going to be a process. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen like a light switch. And yes, okay. So this guy, he's taking more than he needs. It's like greed, right? The Seven of Swords right here, self-serving, right? Stealing from the rich, giving to the poor, or stealing from the rich and giving to myself. This guy in the Seven of Swords, he's just taking what he needs. And that's okay. You know, I really believe that the self-serving in this Seven of Swords is a little bit more refined, all right? I don't need to have a $10,000 mansion, but I do need to be emotionally fulfilled and proud of myself in the job that I do consistently. Yes. And hopefully money comes with that, you know? Hopefully a better product comes with that. Hopefully more employment for more people comes with that. You just got to set your sights right, tweak that shit a little bit, you know? And then when that confidence comes back, you'll be pushing with the wave of the ocean. Not a splash from a kiddie pool. So, Scorpio, that's pretty much all I have for you at this time. Please like, comment, subscribe. Do hit the bell if you want to be informed next time I upload. And until then, thanks for stopping at Eyes to See Tarot.